Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Ask That Podcast here on YouTube. Let me get a drink open, folks. I'm do zero. Just about the only soda I drink nowadays. I don't drink Cokes anymore. I actually got a Coke recently for the first time in forever, but comics. This is an OGN original graphic novel. Because, real quick, collections are not graphic novels. A single comic's not a graphic novel. I hate that term is getting misused constantly, and usually misused by people that don't know what the hell they're talking about. This is an OGN. This was written as one full story in this thing. This is not a graphic novel. This is a collection. See, it says where a collection on the front. Let's get into this. The Ghost Army, written by Alan Gratz, art by Brent Schoonover. The back here. Now, this is one of those scholastic books that Marvel's been doing since 2023. These are, from my understanding, they're doing these to try to get more kids reading, get these books into schools and stuff, which, hey, that works. I mean, you know how many kids I know, younger kids, that the only comic they've read is Bone, because most libraries have a copy, and it's on the AR reading program. Like, oh, it's easy. You know, it's going to be an easy, I didn't realize those were in frame. It's going to be an easy amount of points. Let's check this out. In this thrilling historical adventure set during World War II, Steve Rogers, a.k.a. Captain America, and his young sidekick, Bucky Barnes, encounter a threat like none they've ever seen. A ghost army, the dead of this war, and war's past are coming back to life, and previous to bullets, flames, or anything else allies can throw at them. The armies rise from the ground in the night and seem to disappear without trace. How can Captain Bucky fight something that's already dead? And just what does the mysterious Baron Mordo, Sin's castle atop nearby WWII Mountain, have to do with this? Award-winning New York Times bestselling author Alan Gratz merges the worlds of historical fiction and superhero comics in this one-of-a-kind graphic novel sure to be met with major enthusiasm for fans of all ages. Anytime I find comics that's not in a comic shop, I usually pick them up if I got the money. A lot of that's to support this, try to get more comics out in places outside of comic shops. That's how you get kids reading. So I saw this, grabbed it. I think it was marked down to 10. Never heard of anybody working on it, but I'm a cat fan, so. There's our little info on them. We got a little map here. Well, Yugoslavia. Okay, you go down this way. It's where my mom's side of the family's from. And this is just, I'm not the biggest fan of the colors. Who did the colors on this? So I don't like this flat color. And that's what you're seeing a lot of now. I'm not the biggest fan of. But this is just a cool little Dum-Dum Dugan or two. And then the soldiers start surrendering. And what it is the U.S. has this group called the Ghost Army, which is basically a bunch of speakers. And they make it seem like they're a huge group. And there's only like 10 of them. Am I still getting a glare? Yes, I am. Not as bad as I was. And it's just, they're talking about all the stuff going on in the war. And then that's when the evil Nazi ghosts pop up. Not all of them are Nazis, though. I think most of these are, but not all of them. And they're trying to figure out a way to stop them. And that's when they learn the only thing that seems to work on them is water. Running water stops them. But they always have. Then we go back to WWII Mountain, Castle on WWII Mountain with Baron Mordo, who, if you don't know, this is the guy that was training with the Ancient One before Doctor Strange. So, Baron Mordo is fairly old then. I know Doctor Strange is supposed to be one of the older heroes in the Marvel Universe, in the modern Marvel Universe, but Baron Mordo, I was calling him Baron Murdo for the longest time. Baron Mordo. There's a ghost of his father, and he's working with his grandfather, and just a fun little, the chapters are fairly quick. That's kind of the thing with this one. I was reading this a chapter at a time almost. I love this inflatable tank. And then we meet this guy and his daughter who are freedom fighters in Andrei Maximov. Wait a minute. Maximov? Think about that for a second. Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, I think their last name was Maximov. So is this their mother? There's a lot of that's my thing with this. There's a lot of little stuff in here that doesn't contradict World War II era Cap stuff I've read. I've not read all of it. So I'm like, okay, this could actually be continuity. And he gets a ghost hand. Just really, and they go in the castle and they shut down the ghost machine, Bucky and the girl. Just great little art. I'll give it this. It's a fairly quick read. I probably could have read this in one setting. I did not. It took me about 3 days because I was reading it off and on. I love the training session between, I can't remember the girl's name now, shit. And Bucky, she whoops Bucky's ass. a little bit of Bucky's history. And then I love this part. The bad guy animated some armor. Now Cap's like, I could actually hurt this. So he's beating the shit out of this armor. And then Stark Industries sends in this stuff. And you don't know what it is. And we find out in the next issue what Stark Industries... And look, they got a fan with a hose to take care of these ghosts. But what Stark Industries set in is hologram projectors. So we got Fing Fang Foom, Werewolf by Night. That's the man thing. The Simon Garth. It's the Simon Garth, the zombie. Look, there's the zombie. There's Fin Fang Foom. Neat little callback to that. I don't think the kids reading this would get, but I'm like, oh man, it's and this. Cap's got to get to the top of the building, so he jumps out, throws the shield into a benzine truck. It hits it and it explodes, and the explosion, buffeted by his shield, shoots him up in there. Just a great action sequence. And he's got to defeat the machine, but there's a shield around. There's a shield around the grandfather. We find out that Baron Mordo wants to bring dreaded Dormammu to this dimension, so it's up to Cap and Bucky and the girl who I cannot ever remember her name, and the ghost of her grandfather who's come back and help him. Look at that Dormammu art. I said, just a cool little story. My only real complaint is I don't like the coloring. I don't like this flat coloring. I'm not a fan of it. But for the price, this was definitely worth it. Go track. If you like Cap, go track you down a copy. This is definitely changing. You know, a kid that's into comic movies, get them this. This is very kid friendly. I don't think there's anything in there that would go past like a PG rating, maybe PG-13 for some of the violence, but it ain't even that violent. But remember, read more comics. Thank you.